I talk a lot in my videos about how there is no real revenge you can get on a narcissist, so just move forward with your life. I also talk about how being petty doesn't get you anywhere because you can't do the damage to them that they have done to you. It's impossible. And these things are true. However, there are things that actually do hurt narcissists. Things that, while the narcissist might not show it, it affects them deeply. So here are some things that hurt a narcissist forever. Hi there and welcome back. My name is Jess. If this is your first time here and you want to learn about narcissistic abuse, start now by subscribing. Come get answers to your questions on my weekly Q&A live stream that I host every Saturday at 9:30 Eastern Time. By the way, if you do have a question, you can ask it anonymously. If you want to talk privately in depth about your situation, you can email BookAChatWithJess@gmail.com and inquire about my rates for one-on-one sessions and get yourself an appointment to speak with me. If you'd like to support my efforts to reach as many survivors as I can, you can join the Survivors Army. You'll be proudly recognized in my video intros, get bonus content, and early releases of all my videos. You can do that and more by checking out the video description just below. Merch is there, links to other videos, my email, all that stuff. Now, let's get right into it. The first thing that hurts a narcissist forever is being ignored. When you ignore anybody, obviously, this can cause some hard feelings. But when you ignore someone who literally thrives off of your energy, your attention, and everything else you have to offer, it's like cutting off the air to a narcissist's lungs. They hate this. First of all, you're someone who they feel will never walk away and will never be done. This is why they've chosen you. And when you do this, it is a huge blow to their ego. Secondly, now you're forcing them to either try harder with you, hoover, or go find a new source of supply. In most cases, all three. And this is work that, frankly, they don't want to do. You're just supposed to sit there and be incredibly easy to abuse. Why this hurts them? Again, they're not going to disclose this to you, but it hurts them so badly because they thought you'd never get to a place of blocking them forever, not responding to them. And again, that huge ego bruise comes into play. You've stopped playing the game. More than that, you won. You took your ball and you went home. They lose your supply. They end up getting pretty butthurt in the process. Of course, they're going to move on. That's the nature of the beast. But I guarantee, when you go dark, they remember that shit forever. Number 2, since I mentioned it, let's talk about the ego bruise known as the narc injury. You cause a narcissistic injury and hurt their feelings when you do things like trying to hold them accountable for their actions, when you put boundaries or standards in place, and of course, when you criticize, even incredibly professional, constructive criticisms, or you embarrass or humiliate them. What you're doing is you're popping that fantasy bubble that they live in, because remember, there's real reality that we all live in, and then there's the narcissist's version of reality, which is incredibly fake. That's the one they live in. So you pop that fantasy bubble, so to speak, and they're forced, if only for a fleeting moment, to take a good look at themselves, and they hate it and it hurts them because they're very self-loathing individuals. They don't want to see that, maybe they're not doing something correctly, things like that. I have a whole video about how I narc injured the narcissist I was dealing with. And, I have a video, like I say, about how I did it. Others say they've done it too, intentionally or otherwise. This causes a narcissist to suffer the ego bruise. It's something they're not going to forget. That's why when survivors do this and they cause a narc injury, even if you don't know what you've done, it's less likely that you're going to be hoovered, or a hoover takes a lot longer because the narcissist thinks 2, 3, 4, and more times about deciding whether or not to come sniffing around again. The third thing that will crush a narcissist forever is being discarded. If you're the one who ends the relationship and walks away, you hold so much power over a narcissist. The narcissist always wants to be the one who ends things. They always want to be the one in control. They can guarantee that they have new supply to go to. They can end things their way, on their terms. And if they're the ones who walk away, it makes it so much easier for them to cry a sob story and play the victim and garner sympathy, supply, support from other people. Also helps them run a more successful smear campaign against you. They'll say things like, oh, I had to leave. They were lying, cheating, this, that, and the other. Again, much easier for them to play the victim. All of this, you basically strip them of when you're the one who bounces out. They may not have new supply lined up fully. They might have supply, but it's not something they're interested in making long-term supply. They can still lie and cry the blues to people, but it's not going to work as well because you're the one who walked away. You ended the relationship. You cut them off, possibly as far as having a place to live or money, etc. So when you pull the plug and walk away, this is devastating to them. Plus, let's toss back in here as well. They never expect you to do this. They never expect you to go and stay gone. So when you do this, it's something they're not soon likely to forget, and it affects them deeply. So if you, want more information about that, go listen to number 2 again. Number 4, you move on. I have talked to hundreds of survivors through email, my one-on-one sessions, my live chats, and so often I hear the same thing. I had totally moved on. I was literally starting to feel better. I wasn't ruminating. I wasn't still upset about things anymore. I was going forward with my life. And then, and only then, did I get hoovered. Literally the same thing happened to me. So it's like they wake up and say, I can tell they're feeling better. Let me hit them with one of those random ass I miss you texts and throw off their whole fucking day and send them into a tailspin. And this is the part of the disorder, one of many parts, that I can admit I don't fully understand, as mentally I just don't work this way. They're so over us, they lie, they cheat, they steal, and in some cases we offer them so little by the end of things, it's like, we wonder what the hell's even happening. We offer them nothing, and yet they don't leave us. You know what I mean? They don't leave until they're ready. But then when things end, you assume they're not going to come back. They discarded me. They're over me. And they start to come back as soon as we feel better. I swear to God, it's like they smell blood in the water. It's like they know. I mean, seriously, what the fuck? Either you want me or you don't. I do not understand. But it seems like they get the timing right. I don't care. It's like, it's different for everybody. I got hoovered 3 months later. Some people say they started feeling better after a month and then they got hoovered. Like, all the timing's always different. And it's just something that I don't understand. But my ranting aside here, you moving on romantically or not, it doesn't matter. If you're just moving forward with your life and you're not dealing with anybody romantically, when you start feeling better, healing, you're doing it the right way with healthy coping mechanisms, you've joined groups or you're in therapy and so on, and life becomes amazing again, I don't think it's any coincidence why they try to come back and get another piece of pie. I really don't. It's like they just know. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to do well. I mean, obviously, if you research it long enough, you figure it out. They're so jealous and insecure about everything. But you moving on is something they hate, and they're not going to forget about it. Now, for a second here, I just kind of want to recap and pull us all back in here. Narcissists aren't going to tell you that these things hurt them. Well, most won't, because that would be a pride issue, an ego issue. They're going to try to be the tough guy, the emotionless chick, the hard ass. So remember that while these things on my list here do hurt them, they will still move on to somebody else looking for the impossible. Perfection, looking for happiness. This is the way it goes. This is the way of the cycle. So I don't want anyone to think that any of these things on the list changes a narcissist into a better person, or that the narcissist will chase you forever. They won't. They're going to think about these things. They're going to reflect back on these things, and it's going to bother them, but they do move on. They stop chasing. They have to. This isn't a list of things that you necessarily even have to do to a narcissist. You just need to leave the relationship, heal, and do things for you. This isn't a list about how to be petty. This is just to show that there are things that hurt them. There are things that hurt them for a very long time, and they're probably not going to share that with you. But it won't, them chasing and running after you isn't going to last forever. But if you do right by you, you'll probably end up doing most of the things on the list anyway. And that is why all of this is so great. You don't need revenge. You don't really need to do anything. Do right by you, do what's best for you. And these things are naturally just going to come. Like it's two birds with one delicious fucking stone, really. So the fifth thing that hurts a narcissist for the rest of their days is the fear of being forgotten. Narcissists need a constant damn ego boost. They need attention and praise and literally as I was writing the script and now talking, saying it out loud, this shit is exhausting in and of itself, just talking about them. When they feel forgotten, this causes another blow to that ego. They realize they're not, in fact, as important as they think they are. The world does not, in fact, revolve around them. This might cause a Hoover. They might pull a stunt for attention if they feel someone's slipping away. So do not let these people haunt you forever. They'll try their best, I promise you. And I can say that from a pretty personal fucking experience that sometimes they hang on and on and on, whether you really know about it or not. Some of them lurk for the long haul. Another thing that hurts a narcissist to their core is when you, obviously, find somebody else. You can pretty much lump this one in with moving on, but I did want to kind of separate them to show a difference that whether your life goes on with a new person or if you just kind of chill by yourself for a while, life without them still goes on. Truthfully, either way, they hate it. But seeing you with somebody else is obviously a little more hurtful as they feel kind of the same way we do when we see them with new supply. They take their own inventory just like we do. They get jealous. They wonder things like, what's this new person all about? What's going on, here? A Hoover might be made here to see if they can sway you from seeing somebody new to coming back to them. And like I say, they wonder a lot of the same things we do. And they're just as self-loathing, I believe, at some points as we are. This is crushing. You moving on with somebody else, moving forward and happy in your life. Something they do not soon let go of. So tell me down in the comments what you think hurts a narcissist forever. Tell me if you did something intentionally or not that you feel has hurt a narcissist, given them a blow to the ego. You've hurt the little ego. You've inflicted that narc injury. Spill the tea with me like always. Oh, and I get comments occasionally asking me what spill the tea means. Spill the tea is like tea that you drink, and it actually means to dish about something. You're gossiping. You can gossip or, tell the truth. I prefer tell the truth, but this essentially means you dole out some dirt on the narcissist in your life. So I just wanted to clear that up. It basically just means we chat about things down in the comments. So you can comment about how I swear too much. That's cool. I really don't care. It's funny. I usually don't delete them because I find them really funny. So say whatever you want to say. Feel free. Please like the video. It really helps me out. Subscribe if you haven't. Share the video if you think it might be helpful to other survivors in a different arena where I don't actually get my videos out to. Thank you so much for 45,000 subscribers. I have literally the most amazing community in the whole entire world on all of the YouTubes. You're absolute legends. Have a great day, Survivor, and take care of yourself.